Hi, as the District Attorney of Carson City, I wanted to take this time to introduce you to your District Attorney's office by sharing what we do, what we've done, and what we plan on doing. Before I go into detail about the District Attorney's office, my name is Neil Rombardo, and it's my privilege to be Carson City's District Attorney. Being the District Attorney is a public trust, and it is not one that I take lightly. It is not my office, it is your office. And I'm hoping by the end of this discussion, all of you will have a better idea of what we do at the DA's office. The District Attorney's office is divided into two distinct divisions, the Civil Division and the Criminal Division. The Civil Division primary role is as legal counsel to elected officials, department heads, and the city's various boards and commissions. As a part of their duties, the attorneys for the Civil Division negotiate contracts, litigate state and federal cases, manage labor grievances, advise the various city clients on legal matters, and ensure that the open meeting law and public records law of the state of Nevada are followed by city officials and city departments. It is of the utmost importance for lawyers in the Civil Division to recognize that their primary client is you, the taxpayer. It is this office's belief that the city is a corporation, and the shareholders of this corporation are the taxpayers. As a result, the lawyers in the Civil Division must balance the wants and desires and wishes of their city clients with the best interest of the taxpayers. For example, the DA's office takes the open meeting law very seriously. We recognize that knowledge is power, and it is the government's duty and obligation to empower its citizens with knowledge so that they may be an informed participant in their local government and eventually an informed electorate. Currently, the Civil Division is spending much of its time on the City Center project. Obviously, the expense, risk, and importance of this project require the DA's office to analyze the law, question its analysis over and over again, and provide its answers to the city officials. As District Attorney, it is not my place or role to pass an opinion on whether the project should go forward, but I would like the public to rest assured that the DA's office is doing everything in its legal power to reduce those risks to the city taxpayers and to their money. Another important aspect of the Civil Division is representing the state's interest in child custody hearings. We work very hard at protecting those who cannot protect themselves. And when a parent or guardian chooses to abuse or neglect their child, we protect those children by removing them from their care. I am very proud that the Civil Division has successfully represented its clients, protected the taxpayers' money, and protected those children in need of protection. The other division in the District Attorney's office is the Criminal Division, probably the one most of you know about. The Criminal Division is responsible for prosecuting misdemeanor speeding tickets all the way up to murders. The division prosecutes crimes committed by juveniles and crimes committed by adults. The Criminal Division is made up of various parts that come together to prosecute those who hurt others. As a part of the prosecution, the Criminal Division provides victim witness services and investigative services. The victim witness services are a new role in our office, and they're new to the Criminal Division. It was started by this administration 2.5 years ago. The services provided assist the DA's office with prosecution by creating a relationship with the victims and witnesses, and at the same time provides those persons with much needed services in order to help them in their time of need. I am confident that if you ever do need the victim witness services, you will find that it exceeds any expectations and that you will have the best support that you can have going into court. As a part of the Criminal Division, we have created two distinct programs, the GRIPS program and the SAVE program. The GRIPS program stands for Gang Response, Intervention, Prevention, and Suppression. The purpose of this program is to prevent young children from entering the gang world. We have developed programs such as the Mobile Recreation Program, which is basically a moving park that goes to known gang areas and provides those children on the risk of becoming gang members with the opportunity to have recreation. But not only does it provide recreation to those children, It provides them with contact with responsible adults instead of their older brother or sister who probably are living the gang culture. I have to take a moment and thank the Chamber of Commerce and the Boys and Girls Club for their assistance with this program. The mobile recreation program has been so successful in Carson City that we are looking at starting a second one so that we can hit more than one area throughout our community. The GRIPS program has also started a Students' Attendance Review Board to keep children in school. Basically, the Attendance Review Board looks at those students who choose not to attend school and put them on a contract so that they will attend school and so that they will graduate on time and so that they can become a productive member of our society. The second program that we've started is the Community Volunteer Board. The Community Volunteer Board takes those low-level misdemeanor offenders and gives them an opportunity to correct their situation without having to go to court and without creating a criminal record. They are forced into punishment. They do have to do things as community service, but they are also given opportunities to change their life and to get out of the gang culture. If gang members choose not to take advantage of these opportunities, we, along with the Sheriff's Office, take a strict stance in prosecuting gang members to the full extent of the law. The other program that we've started recently is the SAVE program, which means Stop Abuse of the Vulnerable and Elderly. This program seeks to protect those who cannot protect themselves. It is my firm belief that the role of society is to protect those less fortunate, the sick, the aging, or the young. In this case, with this program, the DA's office works with the state and other local officials to provide services to the vulnerable and elderly, as well as prosecute those who take advantage of these victims. These two programs have been recognized on a statewide and regional level, and I am very proud of their successes. And it is my goal to continue to grow these programs, to end gang violence, and to protect those who need to be protected. Now I'd like to take a moment and talk to you about the future and what we're looking at doing in the DA's office. I am very excited to announce that the DA's office is working with state legislators to strengthen bullying laws and drug laws. In particular, the DA's office supports a bill that will be working with local state legislators that will make ephedrine, pseudoephedrine, and phenylpropanolamine into prescription drugs. Currently, these drugs are used in over-the-counter cold medicines that every one of us use on a daily basis. Unfortunately, those who make methamphetamine violate the law and purchase these products in large amount. This is called smurfing. And those who smurf travel in large groups, vans, and trucks to different retail establishments and purchase these medicines. They then take these medicines and turn and divert them to a black market and sell these products to those who manufacture meth. The meth manufacturers then take these cold medicines and sell them to your children or your family and your loved ones. Now I realize that some of you may be saying, wait a second, I currently have to sign a logbook to buy these drugs. Doesn't that stop smurfing? In a word, no. Those willing to smurf are willing to break the law at any cost. Just one example is that we have recent reports that they will use multiple IDs to purchase drugs, and thus the logbook doesn't show the same person purchasing the drug over and over and over again. In California, CVS Pharmacies recently settled a federal case for $75 million. This case also involved Nevada, but to a much lesser extent. CVS Pharmacies settled this case because they allowed smurfing to occur in California. They knew that people were coming in, buying these drugs, and diverting them to the black market to be made into methamphetamine. But to make matters worse, when California CVS stores realized that they were violating state and federal laws and realized that they had a smurfing issue, they stopped doing what they were doing in California, and immediately sales of these products jumped in Las Vegas. Our proposal that we're working with the state legislatures is to make all of these drugs prescription drugs. If a prescription was required to obtain these controlled substances, it would make it next to impossible for Smurfers to obtain these drugs in the large quantities that they need to make methamphetamine. Oregon recently passed a prescription-only drug law, and in Oregon, they have had much success. The statistics from Oregon are jaw-dropping. There was a 31% drop in drug arrests, nearly all of which was related to methamphetamine. In 2008, Oregon experienced the largest decrease in crimes in the entire United States. And by 2009, Oregon crime rates were at a 50-year low. I realize that many of you may be thinking, this seems like a real inconvenience to me. I have to get my cold medicines with a prescription? That doesn't seem fair. I haven't done anything wrong. But my question to you is, for this minor inconvenience, can we afford not to do it? The RAND Corporation, which is a nonprofit research organization, using statistics from 2005, which were the latest available, found that as a nation, we spend approximately $23 billion on meth in 2005. Of those costs, Americans spent $905 million on drug-endangered children. These are children born to meth-addicted mothers. These are children exposed to abuse and neglect because their parents cannot kick their addiction to meth. And these are children who are exposed every day to the deadly toxic chemicals in homespun labs. But let's not stop there. Americans spent $4 billion in 2005 in the areas of crime and criminal justice working to end this epidemic. And in 2005, drug treatment and health care costs totaled approximately $900 million. So ask yourself this, for the minor inconvenience of having to get a prescription, can Nevada afford not to pass this law? The pharmaceutical companies, the profit makers, are going to spend millions of dollars to oppose this bill. They are going to run advertisements to tell you that this isn't a bad idea and that they have a solution. They will offer to pay to put into Nevada an electronic tracking system for the sale of these precursor drugs. These profit makers will argue that this electronic monitoring will fix everything and end smurfing. However, of the top 10 meth lab states in the entire United States, 6 of them have this computer program, and it has done nothing to reduce the meth labs in those states. These systems do not end the black market for precursor drugs. This system offers the pharmaceutical companies with a way to keep these drugs non-prescriptions so that they can continue to turn a profit on you, the taxpayer. I'm asking you, all of you, everyone who can hear this, not to fall for this. Don't fall for what the profit makers are selling. The profit makers will tell you there are no alternatives to these drugs. That is simply not true. The profit makers will tell you electronic monitoring works. It doesn't. The profit makers will tell you that the black market for these drugs is small. It isn't. The profit makers will tell you that the healthcare costs, your healthcare costs, will go up. It won't. In fact, in Oregon, they found that healthcare costs for ephedrine and these type of cold medicines actually went down. The reason for that is most ephedrine and most of these pseudoephedrine products are sold in packets with blister packs and major packaging. If you have a prescription, the packaging is simple. The pills are slid into a bottle and then you're handed them over the counter. So actually, in Oregon, they're finding that the cost has gone down for these generic pseudoephedrine drugs. The DA's office is adamant about the passage of this bill. It is time for all of us to step up and stand up for Nevada and Nevadans. It is time to say to the profit makers, enough is enough. It is time to turn these drugs into prescription-only drugs and push those who make methamphetamine out of our state. I hope you will join me in this fight. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell whoever will listen. Don't fall for it. Make these drugs prescription-only. Don't fall for what the profit makers are selling. I'm excited about the future for Nevada and I'm excited about the future for Carson City. I'm honored to serve Carson City as the district attorney for another 4 years, and I look forward to the challenges of bringing new and creative ideas to your DA's office to protect all the citizens of Carson City. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best.